Okay, so today is 5.9 complex solutions. So today we're going to be talking about when you solve quadratic equations and you get complex solutions. So when we have to solve quadratic equations, remember one possible way is by using the quadratic formula, which we're going to write down right here. It's x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over the 2a. So we can use this formula right here, right, to solve for quadratic equations. So let's say we're solving for this equation right here. We have x squared plus 4x plus 5 equals 0. Now we know that there's an invisible one right here. We can start by identifying our a, b, and c. Remember, our a is a coefficient in front of x squared, b is going to be 4 because it's in front of x, and c will be 5. Now at this point, we're going to plug it into the quadratic formula. So I'm going to substitute in my values into the formula. So I'm going to have x equals, now remember, when I substitute, I like to put parentheses. So minus, and then parentheses 4, plus or minus the square root. And then instead of b squared, I'm going to write 4 squared minus 4, parentheses 1, parentheses 5, all over 2, parentheses 1. Right, so all I did was I substituted in the values for each variable. Now, at this point, what I would do is I would put everything underneath the square root in your calculator. So do not put the square root, just put 4 squared minus 4 parentheses 1 parentheses 5. When you do this, you should get the square root of negative 4, right? Now, from previous lessons, you should know that the square root of negative 4 is just the same thing as 2i, right? So we can rewrite this as negative 4 plus or minus 2i all over 2. Now remember, this is actually two different solutions. We have negative 4 plus 2i over 2, and we have negative 4 minus 2i over 2, okay? So what I can actually do from here is I can simplify this because this is the same thing as dividing the numerator by 2, right? So my two answers are going to be negative 2 plus I, that's going to be one of them, and then negative 2 minus I, that's going to be the second one, okay? So these right here are my two solutions. So just to repeat, we just substituted the values into the quadratic formula. And the biggest thing is that you will get a negative underneath the square root, meaning that it's going to be, your answer is going to be complex, meaning that there will be an I in your solution.